Welcome to Equal Entertainment. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist. The state of comedy is at a crossroads right now. It seems that political correctness, cancel culture, and free speech are front and center in comedy clubs at the current moment. And one veteran lesbian comedian isn't pulling punches when it comes to these topics. Judy Gold tackles it all in her book, Yes, I Can Say That, and a new one-woman show in New York of the same name. I went one-on-one with Judy to discuss performing comedy during this strange time, her long history of speaking her mind, and more. Welcome, Judy Gold. It's a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Tracy. I appreciate it.
Of course, of course. Well, you are getting really great reviews and raves for your one-woman show based on your memoir. Yes, I can say that. Would you share a little bit about the process of writing the memoir and then taking that work to the stage and what that's been like for you?
The book, wait, do you want to see the book? Hold on.
Yeah, we want to see the book.
It doesn't hurt. So the book is called Yes, I Can Say That.
Mhm.
When they come for the comedians, we're all in trouble. And I wrote it. I was asked to write it actually by an editor at HarperCollins. And it was around 2019 when, people were real. And I mean, we're talking about it even more than we were then. We were talking about comedians and cancel culture and what we can get away with and what we can't get away with. And this editor asked me to write a book about the First Amendment, but from a comedian's perspective. And I jumped on it. They had seen me on a piece on Vice TV, which was highlighting these bookers at these colleges, early 20s, telling the comedians what they can and cannot say while they're on stage at their campus. And I was infuriated. And I wrote this book with my friend Eddie Sarfati. He helped me write it because each chapter is really a polemic. It's an argument about some aspect of comedy in the realm of free speech. And I needed to bounce off someone. So I wrote the book, and then Primary Stages, which is, they have a school and I teach solo performance at the school. And they said, would you like to do a show? And I said, absolutely. I'd love to do a solo show. What about? I said, this about what's going on in comedy now. And I don't know how I did it. It was so hard to take a book. I thought, I have the book as a template. It's going to be so easy. It was harder than anything I've ever done.
You are a pioneer in comedy. You were an out lesbian comic before people were, out and really like just kind of guiding the way. And I wonder, would you talk a little bit about being that early on in your career and the power of visibility, especially now when LGBTQ plus people are under really
my God, it's beyond.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a pioneer in a way, but there were people who were out before me. There was, Robin Tyler, Kate Clinton, Reno, Suzanne Westenhofer, Bob Smith, Alec Mapa. There were gay comics. But I think the difference with me was I was working in mainstream clubs. A lot of these comics were performing for gay audiences, performing in cabaret rooms and gay clubs in Provincetown and San Francisco. And I had an HBO special and I was working in mainstream comedy. And I, was told not, don't tell anyone you're gay. But, once I had a child in 1996, no, how am I I came out as a gay parent. These other icons who were out already, Leah Delaria, were out there talking about this stuff and being exactly who they were. I didn't really have a lot of material about that, nor was I, you can't write material if you're not comfortable with yourself like that, and out and proud. And I really wanted to make it in mainstream comedy. But once my child was born in 96, that was it. There was no way for me to be a good parent and say, I'm really proud of our family, but I don't talk about it. I just couldn't do it. So I came out in 96. And because I had already been in the mainstream clubs, the improvs, and I had done Caroline's Comedy Hour and Evening at the Improv and VH1 stand. And I had already established myself, and I had an HBO special. I just sort of started talking about my family. And it definitely had an effect on my career, for sure. But I wouldn't have had it any other way. I could not live with myself. And I could not be an example to my children if I'm a comic who talks about my life, and every comic talks about their families. Now, who am I not to talk about, what I know?
I think about comedians who punch down on the most marginalized groups, comedians attacking trans folks. And I wonder, would you comment on that? Because it is, it brushes up against First Amendment rights, but what is that urge to punch down on the most marginalized, vulnerable people?
That is an insecurity on the person's part, and it's lazy, and it's stupid. We have a choice. We have a choice to decide someone's not funny and to decide not to watch them or support them. But we don't have we have to keep everyone's voice. That's the thing about our First Amendment. Everyone is entitled to free speech. Why is punching down? Why are lies and conspiracy theories, and fascism free speech? Why is that protected speech? I don't know. And that's what pissed me off the most. I called the head of the ACLU in the 1970s and 80s. I said, why does Trump get away with this? Why did these people get away with disparaging groups of people, and yet comedians are getting canceled when we are, and it's all about power. Now, when comedians punch down, it will reflect in their career. It's the laziest thing you can do. You can joke about anything as long as it's a well-crafted joke. And for the most part, horrible comedians don't get booked. But there are really, really very successful people who get deals for HBO specials or other specials on other networks, Netflix, Showtime, whatever. And their brand is this. And it's sad. But we have to fight back by telling our stories. And unfortunately, there are certain networks that don't want to hear our stories. And that is where it gets really tricky. I think comedians, when they get on stage, they just want to make you laugh. And when you take a comedian's intent out of the joke, what are they trying to say? Are they really punching down? I don't like them. I'm not going to watch them again. You don't have to support. I boycott products all the time. I mean, I've never been to Chick-fil-A. I don't allow my kids to go to Chick-fil-A. We are a very, very, we definitely, where our pocketbook and our mouth is, they're in the same place. And that's what we have to do. And I don't think people should be canceled. The one person I do agree with being canceled is Bill Cosby. But, but we have to fight back, and we need more representation, and we need the Advocate channel, and we need periodicals, and we need the voices, our voices. Because as I said in the beginning, when I first came out in the mid 90s, and people were like, oh my God, and I still get letters from people in their 30s now who were like, I saw you and you were talking about your family, and I was sitting in my house in Nebraska, and I was like, well, I just want to kill myself. I don't think I'll ever have a life. And that is the power of comedy.
Thank you so much to Judy for speaking with me. She's lightning in a bottle. You can laugh with Judy at her one-woman show, Yes, I Can Say That, now through April 16th at 59 East 59 Theaters in New York City. Her book of the same name is available everywhere books are sold. Thank you for joining me for this Equal Entertainment. There's so much happening in Hollywood right now. You can stay up to date on the latest headlines or watch my full interviews with the biggest names in entertainment on the Advocate channel. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and that's what's happening in entertainment.